Twitter has suspended Howie Hawkins' presidential campaign. Let's take a look at this. So this is from Howie Hawkins' Twitter. Twitter suspended our campaign account, which is Howie Hawkins 20, on a nonsense charge of impersonation. The corporate ruling class must be getting nervous. And so here's what happened. If you go to the other account, so this is Howie Hawkins' campaign account for his campaign for president. They suspended this account, and they're claiming that it was impersonation. So, look, whether you like Howie Hawkins or not is irrelevant. That's not my point for bringing this up, and that's not the issue at play here. This is a candidate for president, someone who's running for president. This is a verified account. Howie Hawkins' personal account is verified. Now, the campaign account was not. If you go to it here, like it was not verified, and I'm assuming that means it wasn't prior. But nonetheless, this is someone running for president who has a campaign account, and that account is just randomly suspended by Twitter during a time where nobody is out campaigning directly right now. No one's able to have campaign events. No one's meeting and shaking hands or anything like that. It's all happening online, which means social media platforms are all the more essential and important. And how could something like this be a mistake? Yeah, you really think about it. And by the way, this is the second time it happened to the Howie Hawkins campaign. In fact, let's go to the article here because they wrote a press release about it. Let me just get this up for you. Oh wait, this isn't what I was looking for. All right. They had an explanation about his. All right. Well, I'm not sure where that article is, but they had a press release about. Oh wait, maybe this is it. No, it's not. Okay. They had a press release about how the Twitter account was taken down, and I don't see it there anymore. But this is nonetheless. How could this have been a mistake? You know what I mean? It's like this is a verified account, so you would see, okay, this account is verified, so it's Howie Hawkins. A simple Google search will tell you this person's running for president. Howie Hawkins, the verified account, constantly tweets and retweets his campaign account. I mean, let's see. So he talks about his campaign account. He explains here, yeah, I was impersonating myself. Here's another screenshot of him talking about how they suspended his campaign account. Here's a Twitter thread incorporating both of them. And here they give Twitter's rationale. It has come to our attention that your Twitter account is in violation of Twitter rules, specifically the policy on impersonation. Impersonation is pretending to be another entity in order to deceive and is strictly prohibited. This account has been suspended and will not be restored. Here he goes again talking about it, how they're suspending the presidential account, and they just appealed this. How could this mistake have just happened in the first place? Again, you can Google the fact that, okay, this guy is running for president. He's interacted with this account. Clearly, this is the presidential account. And when you immediately say, hey, I'm not impersonating myself, this is what they say it is, and you're not reinstated immediately. Look, the theme here, and I couldn't imagine this happening to a Republican or a Democrat. I couldn't picture this happening to any one of the major parties, unless, of course, it's some grassroots candidate trying to enter the machine. But I certainly couldn't imagine it happening to an establishment candidate. But it can happen to a Green. It could probably happen to a Libertarian or a Socialist candidate or an MPP activist. You get the idea. And this is just another, for instance, of why. Because this is, at best, incredibly gross negligence, because there's no explanation for why a mistake like this could happen. What did someone report it as an impersonation? Was it smearing Howie Hawkins? No, because it was his campaign account. Did somebody report it? Probably not, because they're all supporters of Howie Hawkins in the campaign. This is just Twitter fishing for something to try to suppress already marginalized voices, to try to suppress underrepresented political parties and non-corporate political parties. That's what's happening here. And this is another, for instance, of why these things need to be designated public utilities. Because if they're public utilities, stuff like this can happen because, you can't take down something for impersonation without due process. And right away, people would see, oh, yeah, this is an impersonation. This is the campaign account. We better just verify this so this mistake doesn't happen in the future. Instead, they just keep doing it. They just keep taking, oh, yeah, this is impersonation. No, it isn't, and you know it. Nobody should be exiled on social media when they're running a presidential campaign and they're not violating any rules whatsoever. Yet this account is still suspended, and this happened here. When was this first being talked about? Let me try to scroll up here. Oh, wow, wait, there's an update here. Check this out. There's an update. This is as of 5 minutes ago. So this is happening in real time, folks. Twitter has suspended our campaign account and rejected our appeal. So the guy himself, this is a verified Howie Hawkins account. It rejected the appeal, basically saying, hey, I'm not impersonating myself. I'm running for president under the Green Party banner. And this is my campaign account. This is how I pursue my campaign. This is how I communicate for my campaign for president of the frickin' United States. And Twitter has rejected that appeal. So this is a mistake, folks. This is not a mistake. This is a blatant suppression of third-party candidates. That's exactly what this is. And whether you like Howie Hawkins or not is irrelevant here. This should be incredibly disturbing and alarming. Whether you're the biggest Howie Hawkins fan on the planet or whether you're not a Howie Hawkins fan at all. Or whether you're not a Green Party fan at all. Whether you love the Green Party, don't like the Green Party, or are indifferent, doesn't matter. This is messed up. Okay, here's the link I was looking for initially. All right, so here's what the campaign put out. So it looks like this is an open letter to Jack Dorsey. Let's take a look at it. Jack Dorsey being the CEO of Twitter. To Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter Inc. on Wednesday, April 15th. So this happened 2 days ago. This happened 2 days ago when they were like, hey, we're not impersonating. Howie's not impersonating himself. This is his campaign account. We've interacted together on Twitter before. A little bit of sleuthing on the timeline would have made you realize this is our campaign account. He's running for president. His personal account is verified. This is an impersonation. Don't do this. Why were you fishing for a reason to suspend a presidential campaign account anyway? So this happened on Wednesday, April 15th. Twitter suspended the presidential campaign account of Green Party candidate Howie Hawkins without warning, only a notification from Twitter after the fact the account had been suspended for impersonation. An appeal from the campaign was rejected with no reason given, despite the fact that Howie Hawkins 20 is a campaign account overseen by Hawkins himself, and that many other politicians are allowed to have more than one account without interference from Twitter. Yeah, all of them are. All of them. Pretty much all politicians, they have their own personal account, and then they have an official campaign account, or they have multiple accounts. Like they'll have, for instance, like even Bernie Sanders, he had his account as Senator Bernie Sanders. Then he had another presidential account. Donald Trump had his account, his personal account, and then he also had his presidential account. I mean, pretty much every politician does that. They have multiple, like they'll have an account for the campaign that staff oversees, then they have their personal account. I mean, this is beyond ridiculous. The decision by Twitter to suspend Hawkins' presidential campaign account with no justification is extremely troubling in a country that is supposed to stand for values of free speech and open debate. We ask that Twitter Inc. immediately reinstate and verify Howie Hawkins' presidential campaign account and cease all efforts to stifle the free speech of the Hawkins campaign, particularly for the remainder of the 2020 election. It's just blatant. There's no reason for this mistake. Because usually when an impersonation thing happens on Twitter, it's because someone reported it. Usually it's the person being impersonated, because usually that person is being slandered or smeared. And they're like, hey, this person's impersonating me. It's not actually me. Can you do something? Either take the account down, or they have to list themselves. If they're a parody or something, they have to list themselves as such. That's a rule on Twitter. You have to list yourself as a parody if you are a parody. And you see it happen all the time. There's all kinds of parody accounts. Some of them are absolutely hilarious, but they're listed as such. They're like, this is satire. This is parody. This isn't the actual thing. Sometimes you can follow all the rules and get taken down anyway. Like when the Twitter account Silly Rabbit, which is Pat and Nate Sliver, when he was Peter Douche, doing a parody of Peter Dow, he was taken down. Peter Dow reported it. It got taken down anyway, even though everywhere it said that it's a parody. It said, I'm a parody, I'm a parody, I'm a parody. Twitter took it down anyway and never reinstated it. He ended up having to use his other account and still does to this day. So did somebody report that? I mean, I can't imagine anyone reported it. I'm sure Howie Hawkins didn't report himself. I'm very confident Howie Hawkins, even though Howie Hawkins, by his own admission, says he's not an expert on Twitter. You know, he said that in the interview I had with him, that we even talked about it some off mic. But I'm pretty sure Howie Hawkins did not report himself. I'm positive Howie Hawkins didn't report himself for impersonation. He wasn't like, geez, I was trying to do a thread and I reported myself for impersonation. Didn't mean to do that. Howie Hawkins didn't do that. Positive, Howie Hawkins didn't do that. So this is just a blatant, shameless attempt to suppress third-party parties and third-party candidates and third-party politics and non-corporate political parties. That's what this is. That's what this is. And this is another reason. There's a long list of them. Why entities like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Google, they need to be made public utilities. They need to be made public utilities where the free speech laws of the United States are upheld. And I know, well, Ron, these are worldwide companies. Oh, yeah, but you know what? They're based in the United States, so they should have to follow the free speech laws of the United States. So I hope that the campaign account gets reinstated soon and they verify it so nothing like this ever happens in the future. But I have a feeling they're probably really going to drag out that process so that they can continue to deliberately do ridiculous things like this. So what a great system we have. What a great system we have.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and